everybody. I am your host. This is Jessica Koch, and this show is Profound Professionals. We have been bringing for 8 years now industry experts from all over the world, and they help improve your personal life or grow your business. Our topic of discussion today is a little deep, but it's wonderful and also very loving. I'm very excited to have Robert here with us, aka Pops. He is a man whose lifetime experiences with God, country, and the faults of with diversity led him to write a book that has freed him even more than American freedom boasts about fighting for here and abroad. So let me just say that I'm certain that writing a book is very soul cleansing, and you go very deep inside yourself when you write a book. And I'm excited to have Robert here, or Pops, as he likes to be called, on our show today. So welcome, Pops.
Thank you so much, Jessica. I appreciate being on this show.
So tell us a little bit about your journey and your story.
Well, my journey really starts from a child.
Mhm.
I'm blessed with being 68 years old and fairly good health now, but I've lived through an American history that's very important with the ideas of the diversities of the mixtures of colors and the idea of these colors that, as I in the title of my book, are false colors. I never believed in it.
Mhm.
The first thing I learned when it comes to faith and God was the Lord's Prayer. And, I believe in that, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. I think that's a real important element that was taught to us in Christianity. But at the same time, I had a lot of experiences in which we could say it's not just my own faults, but faults that I see around me. And
Mhm.
now, in the past 18 years, I was getting a message from God Himself and didn't realize what it was. And then 3 years ago, approximately, I was trying to write a book about myself and my past and my faults and my experiences with God. But as it turned out, He wanted me to write something else, which I didn't expect. And that's a book that I wrote that we'll talk about a little bit more, called The False Color Divide.
And you talked about possibly being able to work with clients. What kind of clients would you work with and serve in this process?
From what I can see that's going on with the sensitivity of everybody with the ideas of the diversity, that
Hmm.
is not as important as what God made. God made a miracle masterpiece. You yourself is a masterpiece that God made. I myself is too. Regardless of our mistakes and faults, we're God's masterpiece. And it's about time that we start to live up to the idea that our individual character is very important in the world of our own daily lives. And the idea of the politics of this country, that's what it was supposed to be about. It wasn't just we the people, it's about our individual spirits and our pledge to an American flag that I did all my scholastic years. How about yourself?
Yeah. And, I love that you're sharing your faith with us. And I want, in the spirit of respect of others, and in the spirit of diversity, we respect all cultures, all backgrounds, all faiths. And we are not pressuring you to believe any one particular way. As we share this information with you, Robert is sharing his story, his heart, his faith with us, and where he came with his along through his journey. So I want everyone to feel included and welcome and able to watch this show, because we have great respect for, that's one of the great things about our country and why it was founded, right? So that we would have freedom to choose religion and freedom to what is life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, right? All human beings to have this opportunity to explore their passions, their talents, their interests, their faith, their cultures, their communities, their families, and have all of that be honored and respected. And I think that's what this show is ultimately about. And the message that you're sharing is very wonderful.
Yeah, thank you so much.
So, how about a tip? Is there a tip that you could give everybody? We're going to dive deep in the book in a little bit, because I know everyone's dying to hear more about it. But how about a tip that you can give everyone based on some of your journey?
Well, I think the most important tip that I had to learn and I had to experience and watch with others is honesty is always the best policy.
Yes.
It
Yeah.
just is.
Honesty is good. I totally agree with that. That's one of the best tips you could give there, Robert.
I mean, when it comes to every kind of club, every kind of system, whether it's industrial or cultural, honesty is the most important thing, and it's the most delicate thing there is, because sometimes you can offend somebody. And as you said about the idea of not expressing one particular, like, say, religion, I don't really like to do that. Although I don't deny my own, but I don't force it on someone else. I prefer that they give me their experience just as much as I can share mine, but it not something that has to clash
No.
or has to be pressured at all.
I have friends of all religions and backgrounds, and I'm always fascinated and respectful and anxious to hear their customs and their beliefs and their traditions and the story and the history behind it. All of it I find very interesting. And I'm also Christian, and I believe in God, but, I also believe we're all energy and we're all connected. And, I have lots of beliefs, but I am very gentle and respectful to not push mine upon others either, nor was I assuming that you were. I just wanted to make that little disclaimer there for
No,
show purposes. So, of course.
no, and I absolutely have great pleasure in endorsing the same idealism.
Mhm.
We all have individual characters, and we should respect one another with that. As
Yeah,
long as it's not negative. I mean, if it's
of
negative, it's
course, yes.
hard. It's hard to
Or
respect that.
harming someone. Yeah. So, of course, I agree. I agree. And now, how about a nonprofit or a cause? Do you have something you devote time, treasure, or talent to?
Well, I have all my life donated my time to others, helping others. Just my community, which is a very poor neighborhood, and in reality, we don't have a paved road; we have a dirt road. So I've been fixing it uh, so much in 30 years. It's like I'm trying to fight mother, but it's okay. I love doing that and helping people get home safely in my community. But
Mhm.
as far as the idea of a nonprofit, I'm glad you mentioned that, because actually I am starting a nonprofit with other friends, and it's about testimonies.
Mhm.
We all have testimonies in our faith, and the name of it is called Thy Will Be Done Collective.
Mhm.
We have our domain name right now, but we're working on our nonprofit corporation stuff, our bylaws we set last night,
Mhm.
and that's where I'm heading into an idea of film project and sharing testimonies, because in the scripture of all religious books, it shares the testimonies of other people of their faith. And
Mhm.
I, just from the idea of the Bible, that whole Bible is basically to share testimonies of people that started off as disciples and became apostles and walked all around the world and experienced life, and then started to share their opinion and what they thought their views were to share. That became an idea of Holy Scripture. Does that follow it as Holy Scripture? I wish I could, as much as some people say they do, but I don't necessarily believe that, because the idea of these commandments, I see them broken all the time by all kinds of people.
Well, I think
Because we're human.
I think we all fall short from time to time on lots of things, whether it's something that's written in the Bible or just our own personal striving to be the best version of ourselves. So I think that it's good that you're forming a nonprofit that'll share stories. The testimony is simply a story of someone's experience and their memories and their past, and having a way to collect those is a very beautiful thing.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it. Well, churches are already doing that in their churches. They're sharing little snippets of
Mhm.
different. But these testimonies, some of them are so unique that they deserve to have actually a film done about it. And
Mhm.
joined up. There was about 5 of us that joined. Right now, we have some separation issues, but all organizations, when they start, have separation issues. And the
Mhm.
only really it was someone wanted to be the supreme leader of the whole thing with a vote. And, of course, that doesn't work too well the way we're raised and programmed in this life, does it?
Yeah, well, that's politics can creep in anywhere, can't they?
Yes.
So, So how about a book not written by you that inspired your personal life or helped you grow your business?
I would say the biblical book of Corinthians,
Mm,
love.
mm,
Love is the most important thing.
yeah.
I enjoy most watching in movies. It's the thing I enjoy reading about when it's shared. Uh, I'm a man that doesn't necessarily like to cry, but but I like those joyful tears. The joyful tears are the greatest.
Mhm. Yeah, love is, I think, the ultimate, right? Love, it's the ultimate power. It's the
Absolutely.
ultimate energy, and it comes in so many forms. Loving of your next door neighbor to your children to siblings and other kinds of family, and of course, for me, it's my hot hunky husband of 25 years, who I'm madly in love with still. So, you
I'm
know,
glad.
like.
So glad to hear that.
Yeah, love comes in many forms. It's a very beautiful, powerful thing. Love and hope, I think, bring life and keep us alive and thriving through challenging circumstances. Right? Love and
Yes.
hope.
Yes.
I think people made it through the concentration camps with minds of love and hope. Hope for,
It's
hope for a better day to come, hope for freedom, and hope to find the people that they loved. I think people hang on to love in order to stay alive, in some of the hardest circumstances ever. So,
yeah. It's interesting. It's interesting you mentioned that, and I was born in Germany, so
mm,
me being American, even I didn't realize I wasn't like American totally until I was 16 years old and dropped it. And then I was told at the Social Security office to get my Social Security card to go to work that I was an alien. And it just completely blew my mind. I was like, what? I'm an alien? I knew I was born in Germany, but I didn't know I was an alien in this country. Uh, but, I grew up here all my life. I came at 3 months old. So I didn't think of me being anything else but American right from the beginning. And, I was happy to be until I got into them ages where I started to understand some things about politics I didn't like. And some students actually got me to dislike some of our American history in some ways because
mm,
chats that go across. And, I don't want to get into that because that's all negative stuff, but it did have an effect. And don't forget, well, you wouldn't maybe realize this, but I would have graduated in 1975. So that was an area of rock and roll and music and
mm,
of everything that was going and involving and Vietnam War and all that stuff.
mm.
So it was a very impactful time for me to grow up. Even marching in New York with John Lennon, give Peace a Chance, all that. I had a wonderful past. I had a wonderful past, and I wish people today could have that same path to continue on. And that's what I hope we can accomplish.
Forrest Gump must mean a lot to you. That was a good movie, right?
Oh, love his mother. Stupid is as stupid does.
That's right. That's a good movie. All right. Well, now why don't you talk to us about the journey of writing your book, and share with us a little bit about your book, please.
Well, never wrote a book before, so for some reason, I'm actually married right now, but me and my wife are separated. But I started writing it during a lot of times and troubles with her and us getting along. And other impactful things happened where she had to leave a job, and they gave her severance pay for that. But part of the reason she lost the job is the same reason I'm doing what I'm doing. I have grandchildren I'm blessed with that are called biracial in this world that we're programmed in. And of course they're not because I've always known we were one race. But at the time when I was writing the book, God kind of tried to influence me to do this because he thought I was a character to do this. Now he didn't tell me what to write or whatever, and I had no idea what to write. But I tackled one concept at a time and named chapters specifically for certain reasons to teach people what I learned in life and my outlook and understanding because of the program that I had around me. Uh,
Mhm.
that's basically how I came up with most of the titles. And then I worked on it, as much as I could each time, back and forwards. Writing skills, I am not a great writer. I did eventually need an editor to help me. I actually first published the book without it being edited because my father was about to pass away, and I just wanted him to have that experience. Because as I said and you announced, I've had faults and made mistakes, and I wanted my father to be proud of me.
Mhm.
But also, my father had made mistakes, and God kind of influenced me in helping him to take that journey and step forward to heaven too. So that was a great blessing. And the book was also instrumental in helping him understand that his faults were not greater or less than mine. They're just faults. They're just faults. And we can be forgiven for almost everything there is on the planet, except for individual characters decide to, what I like to call, have a health memory for something someone did in the past. You
Wow.
know.
I think your book could have had another title. It could have been "There Are No Aliens."
Yeah.
There are no aliens. Since you found out you were an alien, there are no aliens. It's we're
Well,
all
I
human beings. We're all Earthlings. We're all of the planet. We all bleed red. So I believe. I
I
think.
I honestly can't write that. There are. I don't believe that.
Oh, yeah, I know. My husband was
Oh,
thinking that we're not alone too.
we're definitely not alone.
Well, maybe on Earth there's no aliens.
I don't know if I believe that either.
A whole new topic. We won't touch that.
Whole series on another network.
Well, Robert, I would say to the listeners that, based on the sensitivity of the topic, we're being very careful not to go too deep into it. But I would say and encourage you that if your heart is called and you feel drawn, pick up Robert's book and explore and share it with others. Maybe have a book club around it. Check into it um, and take a look and make your own opinions. That's the beautiful thing about the world we're living in is we all get to have an individual opinion. We all get to come from beautiful cultures, and we have so many things in common. We also get the opportunity to look at what we have in common versus anything that maybe appear as a difference. So I've loved having you on the show, Robert.
Well, I appreciate it. And I just want to say, I love to see your color as you showed it. And I hope you appreciated the color I presented also.
Yes, I think it's been very nice to have you here. And if you're out there thinking, hey, wait, I could improve someone's personal life, I could help someone grow their business, or I've written a book, or I aspire to write one to inspire others, then if you'd like to hop on the show, reach out to our team, and we'd love to have you. So before we say goodbye, though, Robert, I really would love for you to share with us a final thought, a piece of information or inspiration you can leave everyone feeling extra wonderful as we close out our show today.
Well, the one thing I want to say, I know most of this is all America. And I want Americans to realize that their pledge means that we should free this flag. This flag I bought because I believe in being indivisible.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to see is for our country to finally get rid of the idea of politics, become individual, become independent, and be indivisible in this country because this flag needs to fly just like every other flag. And I will not fly it until we show ourselves as being more indivisible.
Yeah, we need to stay united. Because united, we are stronger. So I think the positive thought and message for today is that community unity is what I call it. When we pull our communities together and we unite, then we can do really amazing things. Uh, so,
The
so go
future
ahead.
is here. The
The
future is already.
Yes.
And the educating people, the education process has to change. We are, in fact, all one race, proven by DNA. They cannot divide us by DNA. The only way they can divide us is individually. And you know what? When it comes to that idea, there's not 8 billion races on this planet. There's 8 billion one race people of all masterpieces. And we need to show what kind of masterpieces we are in this world.
Yeah, every living human, I think every living thing and creature and plant is unique, special, and wonderful. And so thank you for that. We are we are pretty special, this planet and all of the beautiful globe and all the people on it. So that's a good thought to have as we fade off tonight. I'm your host, Jessica Koch. This has been another Profound Professionals. Until next time, be kind to yourself out there and be kind to each other. Bye, everybody.
All right. Bye. Thank you.